Blood spilled in paradise again. Kashmir, the land of breathtaking beauty, long marred by conflict since 1947, witnessed one of its darkest days on April 22, 2025. A brutal attack in Pahalgam claimed the lives of 28 innocent tourists, igniting a chain reaction that has brought two nuclear-armed neighbors to the brink of war. Before we start the comparison, data and statistics of which has been collected from highly dependable sources, let us have a quick look to what happened during the last few days in Kashmir. In the serene meadows of Bizaran Valley, popular tourist spot near Pahalgam, 5 militants launched a heinous assault on unsuspecting tourists. The terrorists, armed with M4 carbines and AK-47s, they executed a pre-planned calculated massacre, targeting individuals based on their religious identity. Survivors recounted being asked to state their religion or recite Islamic verses, with those unable to comply being shot at point-blank range. Among the victims was Syed Adil Hussain Shah, a local Muslim pony operator who heroically tried to thwart the attackers and lost his life in the process. India mourned as the scale of the tragedy became evident. Public outrage surged, with citizens demanding justice and swift action. The Indian government responded by intensifying security operations in Kashmir, leading to over 1,500 arrests and extensive crackdowns on suspected militant networks. Evidence pointed to Pakistan as place of conspiracy and masterminding the attack on the innocent tourists. Accusing Pakistan of harboring the perpetrators, India took decisive diplomatic measures, expelling Pakistani diplomats, suspending the Indus Waters Treaty, and closing its airspace to Pakistani flights. Pakistan, denying any involvement, retaliated by suspending the Simla Agreement and closing its own airspace. Skirmishes erupted along the line of control, reminiscent of past confrontations. The international community watched with growing alarm. The United States, through Secretary of State Marco Rubio, engaged both nations in dialogue, urging restraint and cooperation. The United Nations offered to mediate, emphasizing the catastrophic consequences of a potential nuclear conflict. Despite these efforts, both India and Pakistan remained on high alert, with military forces mobilized and airspaces restricted. The Kashmir conflict, rooted in the partition of 1947, has been a persistent source of tension between India and Pakistan. The current crisis underscores the attack on Kashmir's peace and economy and the urgent need for sustained diplomatic engagement. But how can you engage militants and terrorists? Who gains by destroying the robust tourism industry, the main economy of Kashmir? In the shadow of renewed conflict, it's crucial to comprehend the military balance between two nuclear-armed neighbors, India and Pakistan. Here's a breakdown of their comparative military strength as of 2025. Manpower section. India maintains a significant advantage in manpower, with over 1.45 million active personnel and 1.15 million reservists, compared to Pakistan's 654,000 active troops and 550,000 in reserve. Air power section. In the skies, India commands around 2,200 aircraft, including state-of-the-art Su-30 MKIs, Rafales, and indigenous Tejas fighters. Pakistan operates approximately 1,350 aircraft centered on JF-17 Thunder jets and American F-16s. Land Forces section. On the ground, India fields nearly 4,800 main battle tanks and over 12,000 armored vehicles, backed by 4,000 artillery pieces and 350 rocket systems. Pakistan counters with 2,500 tanks, about 9,000 armored units, and 2,000 artillery guns. Naval Forces section. India's Navy is the fifth largest in the world, boasting 295 naval assets, including 2 aircraft carriers, 18 submarines, and 30 major warships. Pakistan's naval force, though smaller, includes 11 submarines and about 10 frigates with limited blue water capability. Nuclear arsenal section. Both nations possess nuclear weapons. India holds an estimated 150 warheads with long-range delivery systems like the Agni missile series and submarine-launched ballistic missiles. Pakistan maintains about 170 warheads with a strong focus on tactical use and rapid deployment systems such as the Shaheen and Nasser missiles. Strategic Alliances section. India's alliances span the United States, France, and Japan, with growing defense technology independence. Pakistan aligns closely with China, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia, relying heavily on imported systems. Overall, India holds a substantial edge in conventional warfare, particularly in air power and naval capabilities. But Pakistan's focus on nuclear deterrence and rapid response. They thinks it gives leverage to them in any escalation. There it lies, Pakistan's only focus is its nuclear arsenal. At every drop of hat Pakistan highlights its nuke. On the contrary, India or any other nation hardly mention their nuclear capabilities in spite of having much bigger capabilities dwarfing Pakistan. It bears Pakistan's weakness. Pakistan must understand that they will never win a nuclear war, rather get perished. If they push the button first, they may not get time to push button second time. For Pakistan, an economically and politically unstable nation, best thing will be not to harbor militants and terrorists. In a fight against India, Pakistan will get defeated like 3 times in the past. Both nations possess powerful forces. But as history reminds us, true strength lies in restraint, diplomacy, and peace.